talk about some of the issues that come up when we're afraid and when we're scared. And today, my little friend Molly, hi Molly. Hi. Hi everyone. She's here to help us because I think Molly has some really good, helpful suggestions on when we're afraid, some of the things that we can do to help our fears. Okay? So the first thing that Molly talks about is when she was talking about when she was little, she had a lot of fears. She had fears of little creeks, and remember, she had this big mountain of fear. So Molly, do you remember that?
Yes, I do. And I wanted to let everybody know that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid, but what we should do first is we should take some deep breaths. Okay, let's do that now. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, that's the first thing we should do.
Well, thanks, Molly, for that, because that's some helpful advice. So, some other things that Molly talked about is that sometimes when she's afraid, she actually wants to hide, like under a blanket, or she covers her ears. So, Molly, explain that to us. What does that really mean, you wanted to hide, like you felt cold?
Well, what that really means is that sometimes when you're afraid, you don't want to be around anyone. You just want to be by yourself. So it's really important to find a safe place, like maybe your room, or maybe just holding on to a nice, comfortable pillow, or have a blanket put over you. But you just want to be by yourself sometimes. So that's what I was trying to say.
Well, thank you, Molly. That helps us explain what that means. And also, Molly, when you were talking about being afraid in the dark, remember you said you used to be afraid in the dark, but now you're not. Could you explain to me and to our friends out there how did that work?
Well, thank you, Miss Beth. I'm going to tell you. So I talked to Mommy about, I didn't like it when she turned off the light at night, and that made me really afraid. And so I said, would you please, please, please put on the light in my room? And Mommy said, well, it makes it too bright if you do that. So then what Mommy did is she got me a night light, and it only comes on at night. And, maybe it's okay to put on the light in the hallway too, because maybe just having a little light helps. That's what I was trying to say, Miss Beth.
Molly, you are really good at helping us understand what fear is and how to overcome those fears. Okay, and there was one last thing that you actually were talking about. And remember when you were talking about your neighbor's dog with the big teeth and how he can be scary? But you told us that you grabbed your mom's hand. Can you explain that a little bit for us?
Of course, I'd love to, Miss Beth. So what I was really saying is that, sometimes when you're really afraid and you think you're going to get hurt, that it's really important to stay safe. And of course, going to my mommy or whatever adult is there was really helpful. And that's why I grabbed her hand, because I knew Mommy would keep me safe, because that's her job. And my job is to help keep it safe. So that's what I did, Miss Beth. That's what I was talking about.
Well, Molly, boy, we sure appreciate you being with us today so we could talk about some of the ways that we can handle it when we're afraid. Thank you, Molly, and thank you, boys and girls, for tuning in, and can't wait to see you again. Have a great day.